Yes, yes, yes. Oh, what's up, people? What's up, Aki? How you doing? Get this popping. Live with Cos. What's good? How you doing? That's iLLBliss. Okay, let's do this. What's going on? How you doing? So I've been running back to back on phone calls, conference. It's like, let's do this. Come to this now. Make sure you please. Cool. What's going on? Welcome. Trying to get everything situated. And everybody better pray for good connection so there's no technical issues with Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is, man. When I'm in Lagos, I'm the same. Struggling between Glow or MTN and all these other networks, you know? So I just hope everything goes well, man. You're good. All right, that's what's up. What is this? All right, let me go ahead and ping. Oh, I'm ready. Connection. Wave. Hey, what's up? Am I having poor connection also? If I'm having poor connection, let me know. So I'm just gonna have to relocate so I can move somewhere that I have better connection. Maybe hang up and go somewhere else. Am I freezing? Is the video good? Just let me know, okay? Because my studio is in the basement, so I'm far from, far from everything. Literally, I'm all the way in the basement. So if you can hear me well, just let me know. Make sure everything is good. Is the internet good? Be a live video. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. All good. Okay, cool. Any issues, just let me know. I'll just have to relocate. That's all I have to do. All right. Hey, what's going on, bro? Hey, Blaze.
Don Cos Canino.
OGA Boss in the building.
My G, what's going on, bro? What's going on?
I'm good, man. We're out here, man. Super excited to do this, man.
I know.
How's the family doing? How's everybody doing over there?
The fam is good. My daughter is here. She won't sleep.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Of course. I think 2 a.m. yesterday, I was still begging my 4-year-old to sleep. Beg at 5.
Oh wow.
2 a.m.
Wow.
She knows they sleep. Yes.
I'm sure they're wondering why daddy is up this late, man.
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
I can imagine. How is it going though? Cos, how are you?
It's good, man. I'm great. We're in New York. New York is like it's base of all this madness. You know what I mean? So,
bro, which of the boroughs are you in?
I'm in Long Island, bro.
You're in Long Island.
Yeah. So I'm right on the outskirts. I'm right next to Queens. So I'm just like, for my
Oh,
friends,
oh
everybody that
wow.
are in the 5 boroughs is just mad. Like Brooklyn,
I
Queens
know.
is, yeah, it's on fire right now. You know,
I've
so
been I've been hearing. I heard New York is the worst hit. Like,
it's base, man. New
you
York is
know,
base. Yeah,
Kai.
New
Now
York is
wow.
base, man.
Do you know
You know
all
what I'm
I
saying?
see? All I see in my head is, you know, that symmetry when you're coming from JFK
Yeah. By Jackie
and
Robinson.
you're from Jackie Robinson,
Yeah, that
all those
it goes on
tombstones, all
forever.
that symmetry, it
Yeah.
goes
It
on
goes on
forever. You know,
forever.
that
Yes,
that shit always scares me, man.
bro.
Every time.
I always try to avoid that road. We have lost a lot of
Oh,
lives on that road alone because
I
you know it curves
know.
like this. It's not straight. It
Yes,
curves.
it's not
Yeah,
straight. It does.
it's not straight. So we've lost a lot of people on there.
Do you know why it scares me? It scares me because I keep looking at this amount of tombstones. I'm like, jeez, man, how so this number of people are dead?
Oh man, yeah, man, it's real, man.
It's crazy.
It's
It's
real,
crazy.
bro.
I hope you're keeping safe though. I hope
I'm
you're
great, man. I'm keeping safe,
huh?
man. I'm like, yo, I'm so excited to do this. You're somebody that I've known for a long time. I have
Yes,
like
sir.
platinum. Should we say platinum? Let's say diamond respect for, you know what I'm saying, in the business. You know, so
I
I thought it was
salute
only
you.
right. You know what I mean?
I sa- I salute you, bro. I
Yeah,
salute
man.
you, man. Your contributions remain impeccable to the game, you know. But you
Absolutely.
know, because you move in a very stealth fashion. So you're not the guys that make all the noise, you know, about the achievements. You just go
Yes,
ahead and you plug us in. That's
it's
what's been
true. It's
happening
true.
over the years, you know.
Absolutely,
So
man.
shout out to you, bro.
Big
Shout
up.
out.
Yeah,
And to,
big up
yeah.
always, man. Yeah, man. So let's do
Well
this, man.
done.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I
You
think
had a
for
couple conversations today. Was it before me or after me?
oh yeah, I did earlier today. I had a couple today,
Oh,
whatever.
okay,
Yeah, and
earlier.
I'm after
Uh,
this. I'm talking with my partner also, Martin. You know, we did
okay.
NEA together. I'm talking with him, and
Oh,
then
yes, I know Martin.
yeah,
I
then
know
I'm
him.
talking with
I know.
Aldo afterwards also.
Yes,
From China. Yeah, man.
yes.
You know, so it's
That's
all family.
amazing.
Everybody's family out here. You
It
know.
yes. We're
You know,
here. We're
so
here.
whoever doesn't know iLLBliss, whoever doesn't know OGA Boss, just go to Google and Google him, and that's all I can say. You know, this is I want us to talk more about the back end side of things. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You know, I think
yeah.
that is more important. You know what I mean? But one
It
thing
is.
yeah, I think is so important. But I think whenever I look at people when I'm talking to anybody, right, I always look at them like, you know, how did you become who you are? What is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you went to
Mhm.
school with people.
Mhm.
Not everybody made it. Some people are doing something completely different. So for me,
Different.
my first question to you is that what is it? What was in you from the get go that made you say, you know
Mhm.
what? I'm not just gonna be a regular guy. You know, Igbo boy, you could have
Mhm.
easily just been selling something in somewhere, you know, where like seriously, right? Be a market, whatever. So what was it in you
Yeah.
that led you to
True.
becoming the person we know today?
Okay. First of all, I grew up in the east. I grew up in Enugu. Enugu is one of the. So we have Enugu, we have Anambra, we have we have Imo, we have Abia State, and we have Ebonyi. So these are like the five, you know, eastern, you know, states. You know, so I grew up in Enugu. I come from a very little family, just brother. I just have an older brother. You know, so we grew up out there. Primary, secondary, University of Nigeria. Everything was done in the southeast. And then I
Okay.
came over to Lagos for youth service. You know, so I graduated from political science. I majored in international relations. Yeah, so I came over to Lagos for service. I've been rapping for a minute. I've been rapping for since I was in high school. My brother brought home tapes, a couple of old school tapes, you know. Then it
Mm-hmm.
was the Eric B and Rakim, Heavy D and the
Oh
Boys,
man, those
yeah,
days. Yes.
KRS-One. You know, those are the
Mm-hmm.
boroughs. Those are the
The
boroughs,
essence.
the original boroughs. So he brought home all the tapes and Queen Latifah from New Jersey,
Oh
you
man.
know, yeah, and so
UNITY.
UNITY. So a lot of East Coast rap helped form what I became in hip hop. So So I started listening, and I just fell in love with Eric B and Rakim's records, and then KRS and D Nice, quite a number of them. And then
So heavily
I
more on the
started.
East Coast side of things than
No,
the
most
Western
most
side.
definite. It was
Okay.
heavily East Coast
East
because
Coast.
and then I got introduced to NWA a bit later on, just a bit
Okay.
later on. But
Yeah.
the East Coast was the first influence that I had, you know. So and that's where I took it from, and then I started to try and also write my own music, you know. At some
Okay.
point, yeah, I started write. Cause you know what we can do? Just give me a
Mm-hmm.
minute. Let me
No
let me
wahala,
put
man.
this little girl.
No,
Let
no,
me
no
put her in
wahala.
bed.
Don't worry, man. We're
Just
there here,
just give me a
man.
minute. Give me a minute. Give me a
Handle it.
minute.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You know. Yeah,
Mama,
man.
give me.
Yeah. So
Give. Please, please.
exactly what he's doing right now. That was me
Yeah.
last
So
night, man.
that,
You know. But yeah. So I'm. Basically, yeah. This is exciting, and I think whether you're an upcoming artist, whether you're a DJ, whether you're a producer, it's so important to learn about the business side of things, which is what this conversation today is more about. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people like myself that's played the background for years. We've done so much stuff in terms of working with artists, working with DJs, producing events on a large scale, not just in the US, but in Africa and everywhere else,
yeah. Yeah.
basically.
Cause I'm back. I'm
Yeah, no
back.
wahala, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just
So
telling folks about the business side of things. So all right,
yeah.
so what about education? Let's talk about your educational background. You talked about political science.
Yeah.
Was that a key decision from you, or was there some sort
Um.
of influence?
Actually, I'm a law reject. So
Okay.
I'm a law reject. So I didn't make the cutoff for law. Law used to be very competitive back in the day, getting into
Okay.
universities in Nigeria. So I decided I was going to study political science, which was in the social sciences as well. So I was supposed to join law. I was supposed to join the second year after my first year in political
Okay.
science. But after my first year, I just didn't send the law anymore. I just didn't send it anymore. I
The
tried. I
interest
went to
change,
the interest
right?
changed because the course module, the modules that we studied in school changed, and
Okay.
I just started to like the course, and I started to like courses even outside the faculty, the psychology courses, the economics
Mm-hmm.
courses,
Yeah.
So I just decided I'll just stay back where I was. So that was it. That was what it was. That was those were my university years. I
So,
did a lot of I if you go to my uni in University of Nigeria, I still have my face graffitied on the
over
wall.
there. Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. So there's
Yes.
some legend shit, man. Like where you go to Bed-Stuy, you see Biggie's
Big, yeah,
murals
you
on the
can't miss
wall.
it, man. It's there, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
yes.
miss it. It's right there.
I know.
Yeah,
So
of course.
I just decided um that I was going to make music. Music helped me go through university. Helped me stay away from a lot of bullshit when
Out
I
there
was in
already.
when I was in uni. So in uni we had all kinds of pressures. We had confraternity and gang membership pressures.
Ongoing.
We have drug pressures. Everybody needed to be part of some level of a secret society to survive, But hip hop was my secret society. I was discovering hip hop and performing in school, and
Hmm.
you know,
Let me
and
ask you
and
this. Your
mhm.
name, right? Is that an influence from Nas? Like Hillmatic, Hill Gotti, all that stuff. Is that from there, or is it just yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
First time I saw that Illmatic tape, I just said to
yes.
myself that whatever my name would become in hip hop, there'll be Ill
Yeah,
next to it. So it
yeah.
was influenced by Nas and another group called Ill Scratch, the East
Yes,
Coast
yes,
boys
of
as well.
course.
Yes,
Yes, I
yes.
remember them.
So
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
just so my name used to be Bliss. Bliss was the
Okay.
first name that I always came up with. I never wanted to be the guy that will have the name with MC before it, sort of like MC
Yeah,
Cos
that was what everybody
Canino.
did back then.
Yeah,
MC
yes,
Shan,
yes.
MC Ren,
MC
MC this.
Shan,
Yeah,
MC
yeah.
Ren, MC. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to do that. So I just decided I was going to go ahead and just be Bliss. So and then I added the ill to it was even added by a couple of my friends that always used to be like, man, this guy, your rhymes are so ill, man. You're ill Bliss, So they were just I just had a bunch of boys in school that would just lay down their lives for me and you know they went to me with every
From
battle
the get-go.
because you go from Six Flats to Isakaita Hall to Ninjoko. These were halls. You'll be battling in the corridors.
The
You'll be
war
battling for
zone, man.
battling
Yeah,
war
yeah.
zone, battling for chop change. You understand?
Yes.
Next to nothing. But those were the days. Those are the things that got me through university and then a couple of my friends that used to live in Lagos,
Okay.
they would come back to school and come back with tapes that they made from Ray Power jams. So tapes,
Okay.
because we didn't even
No
have like
CD now. No CD back then.
no CD. We
Yeah.
didn't even have amazing radio stations then in the East. So all that influence, all that hip hop influence came from my lad friends coming back with stuff they just recorded off radio. And then they'll record it and come back. Shout out to Kenny Ogumbe and
Yes.
D1.
Yes.
You know, they laid the fan. At
Godfather.
that point, they were probably they are the godfathers of what radio
100%.
culture, yeah, what radio
Yeah.
culture became. Yeah. So, and that's how it happened.
Okay. What about your
Yeah.
you did NYCS, right? At what point?
NYSC
Yeah.
Lagos. I finished from uni and I came over to Lagos for my service.
Okay.
I didn't want to stay back in the East because I just knew that lag is like New York. It's like when you live in
Very,
it's
very
like when
fast.
you live in Ohio
Yeah,
or
exactly.
some shit and
Come to
you're
New York.
trying to
Yeah, yeah.
come all the way. You need to come down to where it's popping, where
Exactly. Yeah.
you can hustle and get a chance and meet people. So I decided to walk my East service, and my parents didn't like it because they wanted me to stay in the East, but I didn't care. I'd gotten enough of the East. Yeah, and at that point, man, cause there was no hip hop in the East. There was very little hip hop.
Oh wow.
The East was a very high life market. So
Yes. Yes.
probably the only guy holding it down then was Nigga Raw.
Girl,
Yeah, he
yes,
was the
yes.
one holding it down and spitting bars. Yeah, in Igbo. Yeah,
Back
and
then.
a few other guys like MC Loaf. There's another guy called MC Loaf, the late MC Loaf.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember.
he was also there. So that's how I came to LAG and found a job in Lagos as a copper, and then started my life. Yeah, I've been here ever since.
All right. All right, cool. So at what point was it then, like in terms of like the music business itself started? Were you doing other things before you put out like the first, product, I will call it,
Product.
which yes.
Yeah. Okay, so for youth service, I served in a bank.
Okay.
So I was a banker I served in a bank, got retained in the bank, and then started my life as a trainee banking officer. Banking changed my perspective on everything.
Okay.
It taught me because I went through a lot of departments. I went through treasury, risk management and lending, customer service, human resources. So I kind of understood what the corporate structure, of companies and the bank and finance system looked like. So I always had a big picture. I never even wanted to put out albums, or I just wanted to be. I was just looking at it from okay, how can I be the Dr. Dre of this business? How can I be the
Yeah.
Jay-Z of this
Not just
business?
another artist or
Mm-mm.
whatever.
No,
Yeah.
not just a basic artist. How was I going to own platforms? I was more interested in how to own platform. But then even music and hip hop culture in Nigeria was in very infant stages. So you almost felt like you were dreaming against nothing because
Yeah.
hip hop wasn't the dominant
No
sound.
solid foundation at that point.
There
Yeah.
was there was no foundation. There
Yeah.
was nothing to dream against. There was no reference. There was no real rapper balling. There were no rappers with
Yeah.
endorsements. Nothing. It's not
Yeah.
like today that we're all doing good and getting endorsed by
Yeah.
big companies and all. But so while I was in service, I was rapping. While then I became a full blown banker. I was rapping, but I was in the closet. It's like being gay. You couldn't come out.
you come, you come out party.
Yeah, you couldn't come out like
Nah,
blazing
man.
because you couldn't come out because it was like a taboo for you to be in the finance sector and be an artist as well. Yeah, it wasn't happening for me. So, but I kept making music on the G. The real reason why I got into banking course was because I needed to fund my hustle. because I knew nobody. I didn't have a label. I didn't have
Of
anything.
course.
So I knew
No,
I
no
needed to
big
get.
man back then. I would drop
Mm-mm,
out there.
that was no chairman, no chairman.
Yeah.
Artists today are very spoiled. They have all kinds of options. They have social media. They have chairman. They have family tree support. Nah, none
Hmm.
of that shit was popping, man. So I just decided I was just
So
going
the
to go
first thing you
in.
did then, so you were in banking, obviously, and you
Hmm.
learned a lot from a business standpoint from there, making
I
money,
did.
risk
I did.
management, the treasury,
Hmm.
all that
I
good
did.
stuff. That I feel like even now is a solid
Hmm.
foundation for any businessman, any entrepreneur to have,
Ab-
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of people don't have that bouquet of experience, but I
Yeah.
had all of it. I had all of it. Just I spent 4 years in banking, and I left banking at assistant manager level because what it was I flipped through banks. I moved from one
Okay.
bank to the other, then to another one, then to another one. I kept getting promoted as I was moving. So up until the last bank I worked for just collapsed and
Hmm.
lost a lot of money. You know how Nigeria is. You just
Of
come to work
course.
and you're locked out. You're locked out. You
Yes.
can't get in.
So at
So that's
what
it.
point was
That's
it
a
like, what was the first thing you did that you realized, you know what, maybe there's a better opportunity for me outside of banking to follow my passion?
okay. Okay. So for the last bank I worked for, when we got thrown out of employment, um, I tried to get another bank job, but I found out that the banks I was going to, they were giving me like 2, 3 steps below me because they knew I was coming from a distressed bank. So
Mm.
I decided
In
to
terms of
change sector.
positions, right?
Yeah, yes, in terms of positions, like in banking, there is trainee banking officer, assistant banking officer,
Okay.
senior banking officer, assistant manager, deputy manager, then
Yeah.
full-blown manager. Then you now go to
Yeah.
senior manager, blah, 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 blah. So I got to
Yes.
assistant manager level, but they were offering me like banking officer, which was like three
Is it?
steps below.
Yes.
And
And
they were
that's
trying to get me
messing with
for
the
cheap.
money. That's messing with the
No,
money. Awesome.
it was messing with the money. They're messing with your career path because a lot of people took it and stayed in it. But I just said no, that I'd worked too hard for, just to double back
Mm.
again. I was young now. Everything was popping. I was making money. I was good.
Yeah.
I was doing well. But and after that, I just left. I just didn't get back into banking again. I now left and moved to England and stayed in
Okay.
England between 2006 to 2009. Yeah, it was about 2009. Yeah, yeah, and that's it. And from
And what
there,
did
I
you do
stayed
in
in it.
England? What were you doing? Did you went into
Oh, course,
banking? Did you continue music or?
course, I was hustling. I was doing menial jobs. I was driving.
Yeah.
I was driving forklifts. I was cleaning.
Yeah.
I worked at Tesco,
Tesco,
Sainsbury,
of course. I read those.
all the departmental stores, man.
Yeah.
I worked in all of them, and it also taught me a lesson about sometimes things shift around for you in life. Sometimes you move. Sometimes I ask myself, what the hell am I doing here driving a forklift? I used to run a branch. You
Yeah.
understand? And around that same period, Nigerian music was changing.
Yes,
Nigerian music was
that's
changing,
true.
and then
Yeah.
the labels started to pop up. The Storm
Hmm.
Records, Kenny's
Yeah.
Music,
Yeah.
Question Mark. Everybody just started to pop up. So by the time I
Hmm.
came home, the industry was set. I came home back to Nigeria 2008, almost
Okay.
2008 ending. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's been my trajectory. So my life is in chapters. I swear to God.
But that's I feel like you've in a way it's an opportunity because you were able to learn not just in school, but then you
Hmm.
did your NYC, then you did the banking, you learned so much from you got to a
Absolutely.
level. I feel like
I did.
for me when you look at artists that just make money overnight, sometimes you see them they end up all the way at the bottom, start begging for
No,
for
cause
scraps, you know?
Because they have there's no longevity. There's no long
Yeah,
term plan. There's
that's
no
what I'm
long
saying.
term plan for
Yeah,
them because what it is they all they have is really the talent. They don't have any
yeah,
extra. They don't have anything extra to back it up. But
outside
for
of that.
me, I just realized that I needed to. I already had some training, and all I needed to do was to just put out quality music and watch the industry grow. So in all of these times, cause I was making music, I was recording. It was when I came back
Yep.
from England, back into Nigeria, that I became that Igbo boy. Because I got
Okay.
back into Nigeria and I looked around the scene and I'm like, I left here 3 years ago. Besides probably a mode 9, I can't see anybody else that is popping. I can't see
Yeah.
anybody else that is doing so massively well. You know what? I'm going to play a fast one on the business, on the game. I'm going to flip from iLLBliss, aka that Igbo boy, and I'll try and make records that people can relate to. Because
That's
before then we were inspired so much by New York boom bap
by
rap.
New York
Like
vibe now. Everybody,
I
not just in Nigeria,
bros,
all over, man.
everywhere. We wanted to
Mob
wear
Deep Days, all these guys, no
mob,
the mob, yeah,
mob deep, all those
Coins,
MCs coming
yes,
from the Wu-Tang clan from
Wu
Staten
Tang, yeah.
Island.
New
Yes,
York was
that
running
that
things
was
back
it.
then. So
New York
okay,
is the most impactful
so then
coast
you
as
make
far
the
as I'm
switch.
concerned.
So you made the switch.
I made a switch that
Started,
was, um,
spitting, adding Igbo
mhm.
to it,
Uh,
adding local dialect
yes,
to it, and then people
absolutely,
connected. Because you
absolutely.
already have the skills, you already have the foundation, you already have
So
the
all
connection.
you needed to do was to tweak it a
Yeah.
little bit so that the people could connect, so that you could have a proper fan base. Because then
Mm-hmm.
hip hop didn't really have a proper fan base. We were like aliens. We were like in little clusters. So a lot of
Yeah.
people weren't really even fucking with the sound then. But immediately they started hearing vibes like Okwa, that Igbo boy,
Of
chilling in the
course.
club buying drinks, and they're like, ah, we like this
Mm-hmm.
guy, we like this
We
guy, this
are. This is
Igbo
what
guy
we're
is
doing
spending.
anyway. Like they
Yeah,
can
this is
relate.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, bro. So that's exactly what happened,
Okay.
and that's how I morphed and then got into the business full blown,
Okay.
and then started, yeah,
Let me
that,
say this, right? So you came back
yeah.
home, you made the switch. What about the
Hmm.
in terms of the back end of what you were doing? Like who were you working with? Like in terms of production, how did you select? Also like did you like at that point did you immediately like set up your own label or did you join a management company? What was the process that you followed?
I had a label from day one. I had a
Okay.
label. My label is called the Goretti Company. Now,
Okay.
my wife's name is Maria Goretti. We're Catholics.
Okay.
So I took my wife's middle name and just took Goretti from it and just became the Goretti Company. Um, a lot of people kept wondering what it was. Are they Italians? Are they, but there was some sort of mistake, some sort of mistake to the name. I
Yes.
just wanted to be able to protect my catalog, just the music that I was making. I wasn't even clear cut what I was going to do with the Goretti Company, but I
Yeah.
just started the company, put out my records on that. I created a logo, put the logo on the CDs. I made T-shirts with Goretti Company written on it. I was just grinding it out, not knowing
Just
exactly
branding
where.
the market
Well, yes, yeah. Just it's like you and Under the Rock.
mm-hmm.
That's the
Yes.
name of your company, right? Yeah,
Yes,
I know
yes, of
how long
course.
I know how long I've known about Under the Rock.
Oh
It's been
yes.
here forever,
Absolutely. I
and the
did the
first,
same thing.
yeah,
T-shirts, putting out
yeah,
mixtapes,
T-shirts,
all that stuff. So right. Yeah.
absolutely. So that's what I did. Then I now met up with Clarence Peters. I met up with CP. Clarence at that point was just coming back from film school, and he
Okay.
was interning under DJT. Who
Okay.
was like the paramount go-to guy for music videos then. So I
Yes.
met Clarence on the set for Jimmy Jatt's Styling. Yeah,
Okay.
so
I remember
yes,
that
I met
record.
Clarence.
Yes.
Yeah, I met Clarence, and then we just struck a really great relationship, and then from there we started to talk about, okay, how can we partner? Let's
Okay.
just get. I handle the visuals, you handle the music.
Mm-hmm.
I have artists, I have Kel, I have Suspect. They are artists. I would like
Okay.
you to put them on a record. So when I had to do a record called You
Mm-hmm.
Go Wundo, which was a banger. It was a banger
Yes,
then.
of course.
It was a rap banger. So we did it, and kind of shot the video. The video cost us about 30,000 naira to shoot. A
Wow.
lot of people don't know, but it was a viral video, and that even bettered the career of Kel, the
Yes.
rapper, the female rapper.
The female rapper
So
kills.
yeah, and then we just started from there pushing. So we got into some sort of a partnership. Then
Okay.
Capitol Hill and the Goretti Company, and that's how I started putting out my records and had an arrangement where Clients would also do the videos.
The videos
I
and stuff.
rebated cost. I rebated cost. They were never for free. The whole world thought I was getting
Yes,
free videos then, but they were never
of
for
course.
free. Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's partnership.
So
Money was still being money was
yeah,
still being exchanged.
money will
Yeah,
still go. Yeah, and then from
yeah.
there we started to build the foundation of the business, and eventually when I had to sign Fino, we signed Fino. We were the first management deal Fino ever got. Clarence and I pretty much structured the look and feel, Fino's look and feel.
Okay.
We structured it from the hair to the tattoos. If you go a bit back, you'll see one of my videos, Anama Chikwano featuring
Yes.
Fino.
You know,
That was that was us. That was the first time they ever saw Fino with those tattoos and the hair.
all that
And then
stuff.
we went ahead to shoot Ghost Mode,
Yes.
and then everything else since then has been landslide. And then we also signed Chidima as well.
Yes.
She just won
Yes.
product film, so we just signed her and I brought her in, and we just so alongside my music, I was also
What, wait,
developing artists.
was this before or after the Project Fame?
After Project Fame.
That was after Project Fame. Okay.
After Project Fame, yeah, because I worked at Ultima Studios as a production manager for
Yes. But
for
you
Project
did
Fame.
training
So I
at
worked.
Ultima, right? You did training there.
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay.
I trained at Ultima. I trained
Yeah.
and became the first format that I was involved with was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Okay.
So because Ultima was shooting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in Nigeria. So from
Oh yeah.
then we went ahead to Project Fame, and that's how we started. You know, that's how we
Yeah. I
started.
thought one thing that's important here, you know, for
I see my man Black Twang.
Black oh
Twang
shit.
Alanga. That's big homie, man. That's big
Nice,
homie.
nice.
Twang is king of UK rap as far as
Of
I'm
course,
concerned.
man. Trust me,
I
I remember
swear.
from back then, man. I
Yes,
remember
sir.
from back then. I was in the
Big
UK
ups,
too.
boss. Big ups, because his music continues to inspire me every
Bro,
day. You can't get the days done without playing the Twang albums. You know, it's
of course.
critical.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So in terms of, so you could say really you had a major influence in terms of, because it was before you really, most rappers were still doing the, you know, the English rap thing, that kind of stuff. I felt like
Mhm.
you had a lot of influence, you know, even with people
Mm.
like with Fino and Zorro that
Mhm.
came after. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Mhm.
on that level, you could, you know, would you say that, you know, you're one of the trendsetters in starting that process?
Uh, um, to be very honest, the East, which is where we come from, everybody had been trying to put in work by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, because I came to Lagos earlier on, I had an opportunity, and then I had the Capital Goretti partnership. So we became very revered and very respected in visuals. Like Clarence pretty much designed the careers, the visual reputation and the visual outlook of some uncountable artists in the game. You understand? So I learned a lot just sitting down there and watching him shoot countless videos that blew Terry G up,
Of course.
videos that blew even down to Bonner.
Yeah.
I mean, that shows
No,
you
I
from
mean, there
that.
was one point, you know me,
Yeah,
doing what I do. From one
yeah,
point, if Clarence didn't shoot your video, even empty,
yeah.
none of these guys were gonna play.
No,
It
no,
was that
nobody
crazy.
was. Yeah, yes,
You know
yes.
that, right?
I know. We really ran the streets.
Yeah.
But you know what it was? Cause it was
Yeah.
work. It was work. It was
Yes.
there were no gimmicks.
It
Clients always
wasn't
used to
just
say,
hype, man. It wasn't
no,
just
no,
hype.
no. Clients
You were
always used to
saying
say
it.
this to me. They say, why are we turning up? Why are we partying, man? We're not rich, man. Like chill. Let the work speak for us. You know, let the work speak for us. So the truth was, we became like a bunch of nerds at some point, just putting in the work. I was putting out my albums. You know, nobody knew anything about us. It was secret society movement, man. It was almost like Cosa Nostra behavior. You
Mhm.
understand? So we kept it very quiet and just continued to tool with the sound and just put the artist on and just develop our reputation. So that was what it was. For Fino, then what I did was I kind of opened the door and created the platform for the Eastern artists to come in and have
Yeah.
the right visuals. It was very critical for them to have the right visuals. So Clarence is responsible. till date, Zoro's biggest record, Ogene, featuring Flavor, was shot by
Yes.
Clans
By Clarence.
alongside other video. Fino's entire discography, I think about 80% of his videos were shot by Clans. If you look through my videos, man, Clarence is responsible. This entire OGA Boss aura that I have
Yes.
enjoyed immensely in the business was
Of course.
Clarence sitting down and telling me, boss, your raps are very luxurious, man. We need you
Yes.
to wear 4 coats in this one. We need a Bentley. I'm like, CP, I just want to be like, come on. I want to be like, come on. I want to be in the streets. I want music that people can. He was like, no, you can't be like that, man. You're not a backpacker. You're a baller. You understand? You're not Talib Kweli. You're Jay-Z.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know.
So that's how we just came up. Just two boys from coming from two experiences. Myself from England and Clarence from South Africa, from Cape
Okay.
Town, just coming back to
So
flip the game.
let's talk about it.
DJ Equalizer, bless up.
Yeah.
Those are my peoples, man. They're all in here though.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the business setup now, right? Anyway, before that, you went on. I mean, you put out so much music. So when I was working out 2 days ago, I'm like, let me just vibe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to my brother. Let me catch up. It was too much.
Yeah.
Like it was
too much.
volume. Yeah, volume. It was
I've been-
albums, singles,
I've been
collabos.
working.
Yeah,
EPs,
fixtures,
I've been working.
EPs. It was a lot.
I've been
I didn't go through everything. It was the entire time I was in the gym.
I-
That's what I was listening
Yeah.
to. So it was mad. So and
Thank you,
that was
bud.
an era
Thanks.
where a lot of artists, right? Like now, they
Mhm.
will put out single. Let's put this single out. They'll sit on it. They'll go
Yeah.
on tour. I've no artist that's been to the state off for 1 or 2
Yeah.
singles.
Just off
You know
2
what I'm saying?
records. Yeah.
Just 2 records.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
what do you think? What's your biggest take in terms of like the creative thinking into making your albums, your single back then to like what we're seeing right now?
What we see now. Okay. So I come from the golden era of hip hop. I was really young, but I was influenced a lot by the golden era. So I saw albums like Wu-Tang's Enter the 36. Then I saw albums like Biggie's Ready to Die, and then Biggie's Life After Death. Then I saw the entire Jay-Z catalog from Reasonable Doubt up through the Blueprint series and up to. But one thing, then of course I saw the Nas
Of course, the
installments.
eras and stuff. Yeah.
What it taught me was, it taught me my Oga Wade re-inked Nigeria. Oh my God, everybody's in here. Wade, bless. You see this Wade guy, this re-inked Nigeria guy, he used to drop me off at Ikeja under bridge.
Yes.
As a banker. This was the guy that used
man.
to teach in banking school,
Oh man.
in training school. Yes.
Wow.
That was the guy that kept telling me, don't worry, hang in, you get retained, you
Yeah.
get a job,
Yeah, that's part of your journey.
Those are day one.
Part of your
Those
journey.
day one people. Day one people. Shout out, Wade.
Journey.
Shout out. I see you. So I come from an era where you needed to make albums properly. You needed to make an album was like a book, in chapters. So you had all kinds of moods. You had the happy mood. You had the love chapters. In New York, what's up?
Yeah,
Man?
now.
So all the the intro had to introduce you properly. You know, the singles, and of course you had the club records. You had the club records that were going to make money for you, that you were going to be able to talk.
Yeah.
Then of course you had the gully songs, the street songs, you know, the lungu, the songs with the
people, man.
Yeah, just for certain people in the hood. You even had records for drug dealers. You had records that drug dealers would listen to and be inspired, you understand, to sell more dope. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's the era I come from. I come from that era that is well documented, and it's like a bouquet of stories put together. So, and that's, if you check all my albums, that's how I've been making all my records. So I have the love songs, then I have the turn up records, then I have the trap records, then I have the records for girls, then I have the records that talk about all your personal trials and tribulations and all the shit that you go through as a man. You know, so that's how I came to now. Coming down to today, it's a different game today. We're a single market. Music is just music is so how do I put it now? It's just gone lazy. I like to use the word lazy because you see a lot of artists that are putting it, they just dwell on singles, back to back to back to back
Hmm.
singles, then they go on tour. Then they make a lot of money. To be very honest, Spotify generation, they make a lot of those couple, a bunch of songs, but you're never really,
Of
your
course.
career is never, you've not ticked all the boxes because you don't have a body of work or
Hmm.
bodies of work that they can
Of
say,
course.
okay, this was his first, this was his
J1 is
sophomore,
saying
and this was his third
were
album.
you once in a group? J1 is saying you were once in a group,
Jay.
right? Thor, Thor.
That's my brother, man. That's my brother. Yes, I was in a
Oh,
group with Obi-Wan. Yes, we were called the Thoroughbreds. It was me, Obi-Wan,
Thoroughbred, right?
BLX. Yes, yes, it
Yes,
was us, Thoroughbreds. That was us.
Thoroughbred, right?
We were like the Wu-Tang
The,
Clan of Nigeria, man. They
oh,
were they
that.
were they were so scared of us, man. 'Cause we came with the lyricism, you know. So everybody just say, leave this one. This one's that they think they're from New York. Leave them.
Do you guys still keep in
I
touch?
should.
Are you guys still like
No, we do,
always?
we do. I lost one of us last year, BLX. That was
Okay.
my
Oh,
sensei, man. That's the guy that we went
bless
to
his
uni
soul.
together. So he put me through a lot of hip hop while we were in uni. You know,
Yeah.
he got me involved in a lot of hip hop. Then we came over to Lagos for youth service
Hmm.
and continued with the trend. Met up Elajo, and then
Yes.
Obi-Wan was always here, and then Amaka the chief rocker as well, which is
You
Elajo's
know
sister.
what?
So.
You know,
Hmm.
Bliss, right? Like I saw one of your very early work. I think maybe like one of the very first few EPs. It was like maybe like 4 or 5 songs on it, and you had Mike Aremu on there, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah. So I
yes.
felt like there's been something about you that's kind of different. Like you could have easily just say, you know what, Igbo boy, let me just stick to that plot. But you've always kind of worked with everybody, even like other indigenous and fuse different type of music together. Just like
Yeah.
a bunch of records with you and J1. I didn't even know some record. I'm like, J1 was in this
Uh,
record. You know, I
yeah.
saw the record with
Yeah.
a bunch of other folks.
Yeah.
Where is that from?
Yeah. Um, Again, diversity. Just being able to r have fans outside the hip hop space. So if I'm making a record with Runtown, I must be a fan. If I'm making a record with with Ricardo and Mr. Easy, I must be a
Okay.
fan. You know, so the truth is, I have to be a fan of your music before we can sit down and discuss collaborations.
Yeah.
It's just being able to tap into various sounds. And till date, you'll be shocked. Cause I'm a student of the game. Like,
Hmm.
I just want to be able to create magic. I want to create magic with
Hmm.
my genre and another genre. So when you see Mike Aremu, me putting Mike Aremu on a record, you know, just to
Yes.
come and blow the sax and create
Mm-hmm.
the outro,
Yeah.
it was, you know, it's just me being a fan of his music and understanding the hustle of the jazz artist, because that's what he really is, a Christian
Hmm.
artist that dabbles into jazz, you know. So that's how I look at it. I'm a very collaborative artist. Look at how I came into the game. Aye
Okay.
Ogo featuring Terry
Mm-hmm.
G. That's
Jam,
2000.
man.
That's
I still heard the video
2008.
in my head, like every time. Like, yeah, I still heard the
that's
video.
that's 2008. DJ
Yeah. Yes.
Edu. Shout out to the Afro boss. Edu runs the UK.
Shout
Edu
out
is
to
in
Edu,
charge.
man.
Oh
Yes.
man, BBC One Extra.
Eh?
Edu. Edu would not come to Nigeria and not look for his brother. That's the amount of love he continues to show me. You know, he's an amazing dude, and he put me on. The first time I got on the One Extra charts in England with John Olaya featuring Ricardo and Mr. Easy, it was Edu. It was
Wow.
Edu that heard the record and said, you know what, just Ricardo on this record is not enough. Look for a guy called Mr. Easy. He's buzzing out
Yes.
here. Go ahead and put him on the record. So he A and R to that record pretty much. You know, shout out, boss. Shout out.
Oh man.
Bless,
So now,
bless,
like
bless.
what is the setup, the current setup for Goretta Company as a company?
Yeah,
Who are you working with? What are you
yeah.
working on, like, with the company? Yeah.
Okay. So I spend a lot of time between trying to develop artists. Now there's a downside to it, cause because you come last, you always last. in the food chain because you're thinking about, oh, how you going to get Chidima's records popping, how you going to direct her career, how you going to get Fido to take flight, how you going to get Suspect to do producer albums. So I found out that I was at a point I was just lost in it. I wasn't as consistent as I should be, and it started to affect everything about me. It started to affect the income. It started to affect, because you're there, you're trying to pull an entire syndicate of artists together. Because I've always believed like it's the big picture. Let's rally, and have a lot of people under us. But Nigeria is crazy. Sometimes you can't move more than just one at a time, because it takes a lot to fund music out here. So I just realized that I was beginning to fall off. People were beginning to call me, hey, he's a manager now. He has a management company. Does he still make music anymore?
Yeah.
He's a big man now. He just comes out and then he just drops one song and it's fine. So, and cause that wasn't it. It wasn't adding up. And I looked at it and I said I needed to go back in and focus more on self. So, and that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. So the Goretti company, Chidima moved on and started her own label.
Okay.
Yes, and exactly.
Which
and
it's a natural progression for a lot of artists. Like,
no, it is. She stayed with clients and myself for 4 years. So she learned a lot on those records like KDK, Emini Bola. All those records came out under our care. So but now she's great. She's doing great, and she's fending for herself. She has her own team. And that's what we did. So I kind of shed off the weight and refocused.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, for example, now, say like some of the artists that you've worked with, right? Say like Chidima, for example, right? Are you in a position where you're still able to benefit from the music that you created together? Maybe like publishing or anything as such?
Oh, definitely. No, at Capital Goretti, I mean, we own the rights to the records.
Right to the record. Okay.
Yeah, we own the rights. We don't. Nothing goes to waste. We're a very documented company.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we're very documented. So the truth is, you can't even perform the songs without some sort of recourse.
Okay.
To us, because what it was from songwriting to production. It was a process. So we had this in-house producer, Suspect. Suspect was the hidden hand.
I saw
at Capital.
Suspect throughout as I'm going
Oh
through the music.
my God.
Wow.
Suspect, no.
Is it Tech Killer?
Techzilla.
Yeah, Techzilla also.
Tech is a producer. He's a producer as well. So these are the guys that help create the soundscape. You understand? That they will sit down in the studio for hours with myself, Chidima, and we'll sit down in the studio and create these records, write these records. So from songwriting to production to mixing to mastering, and then we'll hand over the records to clients for the visuals. So it was like a production line, So we benefit. I mean, straight up, everything is intact. And
Absolutely.
For me, cause when artists want to move, DJ Loopy. Those are my boys from the southeast, man. They don't sleep, man. COVID has everybody awake on IG Live. Shout out, man, Luffy. That's my homie, man. Holding it down for Southeast now. He's such a dope DJ. He's Zoro's official DJ as well. And he's done so well for himself. Big ups, bro. Big ups. Yeah.
So you're on your own right now in terms of artists. You do your own thing. Some of the ones you work with, you position yourself. You can still benefit from there from a business standpoint.
I can. I've not signed an artist in a minute because I really just want to be careful with how you sign on artists and put people on. Cause the artist business is madness in Nigeria. Because we're trying to find a structure to it. So you put artists on and you put in so much money, you put investments, into the business. You shoot videos. Sometimes you even handle lifestyle. You pay for clothes. You pay for some sort of
feeding,
living allowance, feeding, hanging out, drinking, alcohol.
Yeah.
You're popping drinks in the bottles, and the artist is there. The artist is looking at the lifestyle and he's soaking in the lifestyle, and he's making amazing music as well. But somewhere along the line, a lot of people lose the trajectory and they stop documenting what they're spending. So we're in the club. We just blew 300 grand on drinks. So who's going to pay for that
Who's gonna
exactly? Is
pay
that
for
PR?
that? Yeah.
So the artist is looking at you like, am I supposed to pay for that as well? I thought you were the label. I thought you were the
Exactly.
bad boy
Yes.
or the death row of the business.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to?
It's a business.
No,
That
it's a
money's gotta
business,
come
but
from somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is what I really need. I need artists, I need labels to always communicate this. So for me, if an artist would roll out with me and would drink, by Monday morning, the accounts department will send you in. Just send you, say, listen, while we were at the club, you remember the cigars you had now, the
That extra
Cohibans.
bottle you got.
You remember you remember the
But
Ace.
that was the relation with Suge Knight and Tupac. You know
Bro,
that?
bro is a business.
Even his
I'm
chain,
sorry.
his chain, he didn't buy his own chain. He was
Down to the
belonged to the
chain.
label. Yeah.
But you know the truth, bro. Nigeria is so fucking messed up sometimes that people like, why are you witch hunting the boy now? He didn't know better now, you know. So why don't you
Yeah.
let him go? Because you know the true cost. So the artist goes ahead and they start to see money after a while, after a lot of grind, after you put in. I know people that have sold property.
That first 4 years, 4 years,
Bruv,
you just
that
building
first
the
4 years,
foundation. You're not even
bruv,
making money until like 5 years
bro,
after.
bruv, you might not even make money after 5 years.
And that's when
I
you're
know
spending
people.
the most capital.
Absolutely. So you're there, you're
You know what
putting
I'm
in
saying?
videos, you're paying house rent, depending on the situation. Though you give the artist a car. The artist, you're a label, so you're meant to conjure magic.
Of
So
course.
people have
With
you're
the
on some
money
Harry
tree in
Potter
the back,
you're
supposedly.
on some Harry Potter shit, man. So you're waving the wand and things
Mm-hmm.
are happening.
Yeah,
Artist is wearing fly shit, shooting dope videos,
of
you
course.
know, and then the first 500K hits the table. No, let's start with the first 250 hits the table. Then the first 500K, then the next 500K hits the table, and the artist is like, Baba, if I like, just leave this one for me now because my mom is sick. You know, like I have moms too that fall sick every now and then. You understand? So,
The emotions comes in.
yeah. So the emotion comes in, and then it hits 1M, and there's a hit song. And trust me, cause in Nigeria, the gap between 250 and 500K is is like the Queen's Bridge. It's that long. You understand? You understand? It's that
Mm-hmm.
long.
Yeah.
So then the artist starts, then the money comes, and once the money hits the table, it becomes a I don't want to work with custom anymore because they don't understand the business. You know.
Now with those, right?
I think I want to move in a younger way. I like the way Mayoko's team. I like the way they move. Shout out to Mayoko. I like the way Asa Asika handles David. Can't you see what Davido is doing for Asa? Davido bought Asa a car, bought him a whip. Asa, they don't know shit. They don't know how this, they don't know. So, which is why it's very critical that as you're starting the business, because the first thing I give you is a contract. That's why I never fight with anybody
that's what your
because
boy is saying over here. Wrecking Nigeria contract.
yes,
That's
my
exactly
guy.
what he's saying.
It's called business, and it's time to put. No, boss. Trust me, the people are doing the right thing now.
Yes.
Just people have been burnt over time now, so people
Of
come
course.
and they're like, man, bro, how do we? I say put a contract for, and there are entertainment lawyers all over the place. Generally, the likes of Aldo Maikori, they've bettered in the game.
Yes.
They've inspired people to come into this game and understand intellectual property laws. Artists are also a lot more smarter now. You understand? A lot more smarter now. So
what about so many people that are getting into these businesses, DJs, artists, producers, and they're shaking hands. Even up to this day, I won't mention name, but there's a top senior executive I spoke to recently in Nigeria. Everyone knows him. And he didn't have a contract. Yo, so what's up? He said, no, they don't have a contract. He's having some issues now with somebody that we all know. I'm like, but there's no contract. He said it was just like a handshake, as in, he said because if he tried to sign a contract, he would have said, okay, don't worry. He would just go with somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bro, that's like hustling backwards. Cause I'll be very honest with you. Bro, do you know we had a 2-year contract, a 1-year contract with Fino, and it was management. And That contract even got terminated before the end of it. Clarence and I just sat down and said, you know what? Fino is good. He's sexy. He's a Guinness he's an ambassador for Stout,
Yes.
for Extra Smooth. He's also an ambassador for Airtel. We plugged those deals in. We made those deals happen. You understand? And then I think it's good. I think it's time for Fino to fly. And then P walks away. Nicely. Sexy. No wahala. Contract didn't even Chidema's contract didn't even end. Clarence and I just said, you know what? It's time. Let her go. It's time for her. Yeah, free the bird. My problem is that a lot of people try to hold artists down. And at some point, an artist begins to look at it like, but if this thing that Cos and Illy are doing, I can get my cousin to do it now, and I'll just be dashing him money at will. Why am I giving Cos 30% of these loots? You get greedy. Artists get greedy, they get ungrateful, and they forget the grind days. They forget the days that the same CEO was carrying everybody in the car. They forget the days that the CEO was borrowing money from his wife or spending from his savings to put champagne on the table to get you to. And so a lot of record label executives begin to live an illusion. So they begin to ball before the actual money comes. I remember an artist that used to be under us, and she was like, oh, she needs bodyguards. I'm like, yes, you will get bodyguards, but you're going to work for it, child. So, you know, I was looking at it like a balance sheet. God bless banking. God bless banking for teaching me, because because there were never emotions about this thing. It was like, you really want to drink 20 bottles of Ace, it's possible. You will have 20 bottles, but accounts will send you the money, the expense sheet on Monday morning in the invoice. So you just sign off on it. So, you know, at every point in time, you get an email stating, so you owe the label such and such amount at this point. Please, if you have any issues where you feel like the figures are not right or they're conflicting, please come in for a reconciliation. It's not fight. Let's just reconcile, because
it's like
not only
you never really left banking, bro. It's like
I never did.
Knowledge base, everything. It was with you, and I thought that was a great foundation.
Bro, God bless that initial foundation. You know what happened? You see this my OGA here, Re-Inc. Nigeria. So he was head of financial control in the bank I was working for. Now FinCon is like the watchdog of the entire bank. They are the ones that watch every single transaction that goes on in the bank. You get fired from between FinCon and there's another department that also looks control. Okay. So control sits down and watches the processes of everybody. The checks, were the checks properly signed off on, were they verified, were they confirmed? Every single process, account opening details. So all of that stuff that from banking, then even risk management, lending people money. Do you know how many people's houses I've sold as a banker? No, cost is crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, you see a man that is your father's age and he's weeping and he's telling you, my son, you people have a legal mortgage on my property, but it's federal government that is owing me this money. I'm like, sir, but it's also depositors' money that we gave you. That's what we really are. We're an intermediary, so we're giving you depositors' money to do your business with. And when you can't pay, I sell your house. And I've seen men cry and sit on the floor and watch their houses being taken over. You know, I've gone to fight for money. I've taken a cultural troop. There's a particular man, I can't mention his name, he's a big man in this country. I took a cultural troop to go and sing in front of his office in VI. He paid us the next day. There's a troop, there's somewhere in Yaba where the loan recovery department will tell you, go and contract these guys. They will just be singing.
The repo man in America.
Yes.
The repo man. Yeah,
God bless you. This is the
car, man.
This is the repossession team, but with musical instruments. So what these ones are doing, they're singing Baba Cos. Rich man, we don't get money.
Wait, real talk, they will come and sing there.
Bro, I'm talking a freaking cultural troop, man. Like, they're singing and your neighbors are hearing, is this man owing somebody? They're like, come and pay that bank that you know you're owing, that we're here singing for you. You're a big man, but you don't have money. Cause it's crazy.
Good
like,
Lord.
You know, Nigeria is mad. So you see people, they borrow money, they go into billions of overdraft, and you know, like their facilities even expire, but they're still there balling, buying all kinds of Maybachs, but they're owing banks.
Of course, they
you understand? Yeah, they're owing money. They're chilling on Banana Island. They even give some people money to go and start record label. Where do you think some of that money that comes from record label, where do you think it
Hmm.
comes from?
They're burning everything, doing
Yeah,
big
they're
work.
burning everything.
Man, wow. 701. Okay, cool. Almost there. All right. I'm gonna wait for iLLBliss to come back on, and so we can try to wrap this up. What's going on, Jade? Obi Coco, Firematic joint. Nice. I'm gonna wrap up. It's gonna wrap up with Bliss, and then so we can talk to my brother Martin, get this thing started. What's up, L? Martin, yeah, I'm talking with Martin next. Yes. It's like Instagram. It's like Instagram was timing us. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to conclude with Hill. Let me see, so I can bring Martin on, so we can finalize this. You can come back on. Okay. We'll wrap up with Hill. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
man.
cool.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, for everyone that joined. I think it was so important for me. That's why I wanted
Mm-hmm.
us to have that conversation there. For everything
Yeah.
that we do from the front end, what is
Mm-hmm.
happening on the back end is even so much more important. More
It is.
artists, if you're in the creative industry, you have to pay attention to those things.
You
You
must.
have to.
You must. You must.
Yes,
It's critical, or else the business will implode.
absolutely. Yeah,
And when it implodes, you lose everything.
yeah.
These are not labels. A lot of people are not labels because a lot of people are just a bunch of friends drinking and formed a record label over drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And now had one cousin, one stray cousin or nephew somewhere that could
Of
sing and
course.
they'll put him on. But you must put the structures in it. You need your lawyers. You need the lawyers to sit
From
down,
the
stretch out the content.
from
Then
this
you need to
get go.
teach. Then you need to teach the artists, not just serve them paperwork. You need
Of
to
course.
educate the artist and say, listen, bro, we're going to spend this amount of money on you, and this is how we're going to redeploy it. Just be as transparent as
Mm-hmm.
possible. Toye, 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 Toye is my G, man. He's in LA. He's in film school. He produced my new record, Country. Yeah,
Country.
so
Oh man, that's my
yes.
joint right there, man. That is my
Thank
joint.
you.
That's
Thank
my
you,
joint.
bro.
But
Thank you so much. Thank
the
you.
EP, you got an EP coming out, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah.
And I'll ask you my last question so we can wrap up.
Okay,
Yeah.
I actually have an album coming. My team decided it
A full
wasn't time
album.
to, my team decided it wasn't time to
Okay.
EP anything again. Let's collapse this thing
Oh
into a
yeah?
full-length
All right.
album. Yeah. Yeah. So
All right.
this is my sixth album. Yeah, and my 10th project.
Volume of
10th.
work, man. Is he gonna be
The
the same? Is it God Made You King? Is that like
Yes, yeah,
is
yeah.
gonna be
No,
the
no,
same?
no, no, no.
Okay.
God Made You King is a record
It's a record.
on
Okay.
the album now. The
On the
album is
album.
called The album is called Ili Chapo. Ili
Billy
Chapo.
Chapo.
That's what it's called. Yes, that's what it's
Mafia,
called.
mafia
So,
status, man.
man, I'm just organized, man. I don't know. I guess organized crime is organized. So I
Of
try and
course.
stay organized
Yo, I didn't talk.
as
What about
well.
the movies? You did the movie,
King of Boys.
King of Boys. Everyone loved
Mm-hmm.
it. Fantastic movie. Shout out to Kenny. Is that something
Kemi,
you're gonna? How did you even? What you want to act? You want to do more movies?
I want to produce film. In fact, I'm
Produce.
writing.
Okay.
See my laptop. I'm writing. I took this time to do a course on script. I do a course on
Nice.
scripting and creating film plots. So I stay up and I'm trying to develop stories. I want to do stuff as well. I want
Is
to
that so?
produce.
You're gonna produce under the Goretta company?
No, it will be Goretti Company, and I'll
What is
partner
it
with
gonna be?
Clarence as well.
Okay. Perfect. All right.
Yes, I'll partner with clients for the film, for the cinematography, because
I like it.
he pretty much has it on lock with the music
Of
videos and
course.
all the TV
Yeah.
commercials and documentaries is done. So it will only be natural to just get him involved.
Okay.
I want to tell very very organic stories because I come from the southeast, so there are a lot of
Yes.
things I want to talk about my people and how we move, and there's a lot of misconception about Igbo people, so I want to bring all of that to the fore,
Exactly.
you know.
So
So
it's from a
I'm doing a
different
story.
angle, different
No,
different point of
it's
view.
from it's
Yeah.
from a different perspective. It's about trade. There's a lot of trade. I'm not, because we're very trade inclined,
Of
you
course.
know. So
Yes.
I'm also showing off a lot of trade. All my boys in Aba that are building shoes. Aba is the fashion Milan, is the Milan of Africa, but nobody gives Aba credit. All the suits that they are making, Aba suit makers are clothing half of Victoria Island. They're sending suits from
Yes.
Aba via the night buses, via the night
Yeah.
buses. Nobody understands all of that. So we're just here. We're just trying to tell our stories. King of Boys was Kemi Adetiba. Shout out to
Okay.
Kemi. New York
Nice.
chick. Yes, she's a total
Nice.
total hustler, Wonder Woman. We're
Of
doing the
course.
sequel. Once
Yeah.
COVID will allow us to get back on set, to
Of
go in
course.
and
Get
take the
back out
second
there.
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to
Yes,
Kenny,
sir.
man.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
cool.
Yes,
So
sir.
give your advice to anybody, not just artists in the creative industry, setting up their foundation right now, based on your
Yeah.
experience up to date.
Mm-hmm. This business is the success ratio of this business is very low. So I need people to understand why they are in the business. If you're in the business and you want to help an artist, just help an artist like the fucking Red Cross or
Yeah.
Doctors Without Borders or Amnesty International or the Ford Foundation. Help an artist and don't bitch when the artist wants to go and you say, "Oh, you're owing us money."
Time to
If you
roll
don't
out,
do
man.
if you don't do due diligence on your process, you will get burnt. It's simple, cause so many people have been buried. I know where all the dead bodies are in this game. So many labels have been buried and forgotten because they didn't do due diligence. So before you get in, and there are a lot of people that are groupies, a lot of CEOs, a lot of rich boys that are groupies. They want to turn up with cars in the
Just be in the
clubs.
picture, do
Yes,
videos,
so
selfies, all that stuff.
they want to be in the video and hold the champagne bottle and toss money at the strippers. They want to be stars. They are not taking time to learn the back end of this business. They're not well researched. It's not about 6 Clarence Peters videos and then 6 beats from SARS and then six trip, just fucking around with numbers and not understanding exactly what to do. You should
Yeah.
understand timing. You should understand periods, how you build an artist from a mixtape artist to a cover artist into a go to industry night and grind it out
Of
until
course.
people start to talk about you. You must grind. If an artist does not have grind period, it does not have
Yeah.
sense.
It's not
Take it
happening.
from me. Artists
Yeah.
want to blow tomorrow morning, cause artists want to wake up today and blow tomorrow morning. They want to do
Start driving
Tupac
that big
level.
car, living in a big
No,
house, take the
they
jets.
want yes,
Yeah.
they want to do all of that shit by tomorrow morning. They want Tupac 0 to 100, Tupac level tomorrow morning. You know,
Of
but
course.
because also the record label owners and the sponsors also don't know any better. They commit a lot of money and people get burnt in the process. People get bankrupt trying to fund artists.
Of
And
course.
when you get bankrupt, the artist will move on. So that's how it is. So
Definitely.
it's education on both
Do
sides.
you?
The artist needs to learn and understand the contract and understand what they are going in for, so that they can then say, Baba, I can't do this one, or Baba, I can do it. Let's go in and get it done. You know, it's just about understanding where we're going together.
Cool.
You know.
So my brother, this is we live. We under the rock, man. Brooklyn status, Queens. You gotta drop
BK
something,
to the
drop some
foot.
bars.
BK to.
Take us home, man. You gotta drop something, man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm in that mood
Okay.
right now.
Okay. Okay. Listen, I'm still sitting at the table of dawns, crown of thorns, sipping on crushed grapes and zoning off the horns. When I win, it's for the fucking East. Gold on my wrist, hustle is beast. Put a lighter to your fucking list. Picture me rolling. Machiavelli minded, you blinded. I'm God's own. If you pure, cast the first stone. Nwanne na-azụ gee ntị kpumie onye ọbụla nọchie my money ma shine egbulie mana enwekwa ka ọ dị ọ ga-adịkwa bloody ige izile na manaka ga-adịkwa mọdị asa nwere uche mana asa enwekwalụ the body otu ọ dị fagasị na ili akpọbago ọgwụ na dọdụ ka iligadi dụọ gị ọdụ onye nnukwu isi na gọọmenti egbupụ ya onye kwuo pin manya pịasuo ma calculating like a Casio next vacation my brother Lazio iwe ka na-ewekwa boys with them boys getting money in abundance 20 cars in accordance what. My name's iLLBliss, and I'm hanging with the big
don't get
homie,
it twisted, man.
Don Cos Canino.
Don't try that shit at home, man. You know what I mean? Don't try that shit at home. You know what I mean? They don't come
Not at all, my brother. They should look out for my new album. Thank you so much. They should look out.
Kobe, we're gonna turn up when the album drop. We're gonna turn up.
Most definitely, brother. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I hope you had a good. I just saw Osh on the mix. That's another that's another young homie of mine. God bless you, Osh. Everybody's coming through, man. Thank you so much, bro. I like what you're doing for the culture. God bless you. Winnie. Yeah. Look at my baby sister Winnie. Oh, shout out to Winnie. God bless you, Cos. You're such an amazing soul, man. Bless. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll send you the album preview. Yes. You're getting all the exclusives. I'll send it to you before it drops, man. No wahala, Cos. So bless, man. Stay safe.
All right, brother. Nice. Oh man, yo! Shout out to iLLBliss coming through. I had a great time. And yes, it's exciting, man. I'm so excited today. The next person I'm talking to is somebody that I have a lot of respect for. We've done work together. The knowledge is so much in the industry. We've turned up together several times. And, let me make sure he's online. So Martin, if you're on, just drop a comment so I can bring you on. And we're going to talk about your contribution to entertainment. We're going to talk about what is happening right now in the industry, basically. So let me ping him. I saw him. Oh, Martin is there. Perfect. Oops. No, not that. Go live. Bang, 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 bang. Hey, what's going on, bro? Yeah, let me first of all apologize that we went over.
No, don't apologize. Let me first of all say that setup right coming after iLLBliss. Nah, that's what's up right there. Let me see if I can freestyle a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Let me beatbox, man. Let's do this, man.
Nah, but that's not what we do. We do something different though. So it's okay. But that was really nice to actually listen to you and iLLBliss. Absolutely. Talk about some of the other side of the business. It's definitely a nice setup for what we are going to talk about because
what we want to talk about exactly. Which is, I thought
a lot of people don't understand some of these OGs and they can still drop dimes and drop music, but there are other works that they do behind the scene to make their biggest artists or their favorite artists come to light and things like that. So that was quite important, and I kind of enjoyed that, But this is about Cos. This is live with Cos, man. Let Cos take it away.
Yeah, man. No, man. This is a conversation. I think I try to bring on folks like yourself that it's not like I just sent you an email like I don't come to Dallas without disturbing you over there. When I'm in town, like, bro, I'm in town, like,
man.
So
I tell you, man, it's but it's all good though. I mean, at least we gotta make the best use of this times that we got right now. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. All right. Cool. So I've known you for a long time. We've done a lot together. So just who is Martin Fayomi? Let's talk about that.
I don't even know from what angle, man. I'm just a humble kid, man. Just trying to make my impact in the world. It's not. I mean, I think it's humbling to have to talk about yourself. In all ramification, it's definitely humbling. But I'm just a simple kid.
Let me say this. Martin is the director bosses of Start Corp Health, right?
Yes, sir.
He's from he may be in Dallas right now, but he's a New Yorker. You know what I mean? He's one
Yes.
of those guys that
Orange, New York.
running things in New York, definitely. And also, you have a background. I mean, your educational background is important. St. John's University, Howard University, New York Medical School, also.
Right.
And one thing that I always ask everybody on this program is that how important would you say your educational background is into forming and shaping you into the person you are today?
Oh, absolutely. You got to have a solid foundation, and that solid foundation, for me, it's education. For some, could be just street grind, but for me, it's education. Like, no matter where and what moves or sector, industry that I find myself at, whatever negotiation table, it goes back to that fundamental. Can you balance and tilt a specific negotiation to your advantage or to your advantage of whoever it is that you're representing at that table? Can you bring unraveled, uncommon strategy to an already cooked meal and bring value in at the same time? And that goes all the way back to education, you know what I'm saying? So, it's without saying at all.
Obviously, like now, in terms of COVID situation, what we're dealing with, taking this as a lesson learned, what are some of the things that you think you would do differently from a business standpoint in all your industry?
Well, unfortunately, I wouldn't do anything differently. My background actually is in epidemiology. So for me, this is looking at data, and you can relate to this, right? Coming up with empirical data and predicting. I can say from the moment that our leaders, our politicians decided it was time to shut down, like I can already predict we're going to 60 days to 90 days of no activity, right? So you take your operations and see, are they scalable? Not necessarily that you do anything different. Are your operations scalable to where you can still function? Maybe not at its optimum, right? But there's always what we call overburn, right? You get overburn in doing the same thing over and over and over every day, grind every day, and think you're efficient. But when you do it differently, in a different perspective, because of this challenging time like this COVID time, you find ways to be a bit more streamlined, a bit more effective. And this is what this opportunity actually affords you to kind of reassess your processes, right? And if you learn anything during this period, is how do you put that into your practices going forward? Is, do I shut down every 60 days and reassess how far I'm going or how fast I'm coming? Whatever that strategy is, it's learning the opportunity to take a step back, reassess your processes, and how can you get more efficient in how you grind, basically.
Of course. One question I wanted to ask you is this, right? Like, if we ever have the United States of Africa, right, and you become the first president, what are the three things that you would like, three industries or things that you would do or put in place?
From what we know today, or just
from what we know today, up to today? Yeah.
Well, I think if anything, it's youth empowerment. I think the population suggests that there's a lot more youth than there is older population, at least for Africa, that is. That's definitely one sector. Two is education, because I think, absolutely the more enlightened and educated people are, the best it is for the group of people. That could be a clan, that can be, an ethnic group, or that can be something as simple as, a cultural sector of people. If you're educated, you can move swifter, you can move faster, you can move more strategically, basically. And the third sector is entrepreneurship, right? For me, entrepreneurship is the engine that make things work. Even a lot of CEOs in either Fortune 500 or the top major company are trained as entrepreneurs, because you have to know when to take risk. You have to know when to dive into new investment as far as new sector opportunities and taking advantage of what the economy may present. That could be, investing in talent, or it could just be as simple as developing new skills, solution, or process. So those would be those three sectors, really, to be honest.
So I mean, let's talk about entertainment. Let's just dive right into it. What was your first introduction into entertainment?
Man, shout out to my boy, big news entertainment, man. But I mean, that's where it started, man. From those basement parties in New York, bro. Like Brooklyn really opened it up. You know what I'm saying? Like those basement party back in the days. And that's why we always give credit back to how it all started, right? And that was because for me, I mean, even when I was living in Nigeria, entertainment was nothing that I was interested in. When I was in boarding school, I was never in like an acting group or talent show or anything like that. None of those things interested me, right? I was a core science student, right? None of those things interest me. I never even thought I had talent or know how to identify talent. So, but when we had to do with a cultural revolution in New York as young Africans that had to consume hip hop, or how hip hop culture was actually influencing who we're becoming as young Africans, either because we're dealing with African Americans, or we're dealing with, Caribbean Americans, or we're dealing with, pure Caucasian Americans, right? We were different. But our differences was also being influenced by hip hop culture. And when we started having, just like young adults, started having parties and,
everybody partying together, mixing together.
You understand what I'm saying? You start to click and say, wow, there's something, how can I add value here? What do I bring to the table in this perspective that allows me to, change this direction of just being a consumer?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, like, for me, obviously, around the time, let's talk about the NEA platform, right? I think back then, as a co-founder of NEA, also director, president for so many years of the NEAs, also, right? How important do you think having a platform such as the NEAs or the award show around the time that it was done to developing the Afrobeat movement in the United States?
Right. I think that the value that NEA kind of brought to the table, that they in this what we call revolution of Afrobeats in the Western world, is not talked about enough. And when a lot of people try to engage me with what the Nigerian Entertainment Awards was doing, I think that enough credit was not given to the Nigerian reunion or the Nigerian DJs, because what NEA did was took those pockets of gathering and decided to put what I'll call pizzazz on it, right? It was no longer cultural. It had to be global. We had to take the culture to the doorsteps of Hollywood and New York entertainment, and it's NRC couldn't have come to New York and say we want to do an after party. It would have just been, okay, well, it's an after party. But when the NEA's after party came by, it was a total shutdown. And it could have been a total shutdown. People started to think fashion. People started to think styling. People started to think how I get made up to show up on the topmost Nigerian media because I was at the NEAs. It started becoming movement, right? So for me, what NEA did, at least started to the engine which started was what got us to where we are today. There's a lot more work to do, but definitely can discount the the value of that particular brand at that time.
Of course. And obviously, since the NEAs, I feel like you've done so much and have a lot of impact. Some of the talents that you've gone and worked with. Talking about some of the conversation I was having with you also, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the industry, right? Meaning the Nigerian entertainment industry specifically, like taking it back 10 years ago, right? Knowing what you know today from a business music standpoint, right? What are some of the things you would have put in place like 10 years ago, or even say even 5 years ago, compared to what we're seeing right now?
Man, I don't know if there's an answer to that, bro. Like, again, my parents were musicians. I didn't come from a recording
Yes,
family. I have no template to do this,
to go back.
right? And some of the entertainers that I work with nowadays didn't come from that also either,
Mm,
right? They were just
yeah.
born talents that decided either because of the cultural uproar of Nigeria not having enough for the youth to do, they went into music, right? And they decided, oh wow, this is something that I can actually feed my generation on,
Make some
and
money
I can
from. Yeah.
actually become, you understand, become an individual brand and influence a whole generation. I better take this, craft seriously. So it's really, it's not something that you can go back and change differently. At least from my perspective, I didn't have a template. There's a lot of things that we had to get
Yeah,
intuitively creative about,
of
like
course.
signing $2 million deals for an African artist. It wasn't done
Mm.
before. You understand? This kind of question you ask it to like maybe a Debanj that
Mm.
went through
That
a
was in
whole
that
decade
era
of,
that was dealing with us.
you understand, and
Yeah,
that went
for sure.
from grinding and making
Hmm.
nothing
What
of
about now? You think it makes sense for our artists to sign like major labels in the US?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that we're not even close to the tip of the iceberg for the level of talent that we have in Africa. And if these ones that are currently started after don't sign these deals, we will
Yes.
never learn what works and what doesn't work. And I'm not saying they should take a risk, but they need to bet on themselves, right? I always tell artists, right, the house will always win. You
Hmm.
can't look at a deal with a Sony as a bad deal. I understand what I'm saying.
Of
You have to
course.
look at a Sony deal as, okay, what's in it for me and how can I make it better than, and a deal is not a lifetime deal.
Yes.
Even,
Yeah.
even if you record a project and it belongs to Sony for the lifetime of that project, God bless you. That is not going to be your last project.
Of course.
You understand?
You
But
can
I
do
know
so
how
much more
creatives,
outside of.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand how creatives get, right? They
Yeah.
get very attached and emotional to their creativity,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it becomes a little. And like I said, for me, I'm always in trouble because it's not like I don't respect art or I don't respect creativity, but I don't get it. I don't understand why you get overly attached to
To the stuff.
a beat or a
Yeah.
music, or because if no one takes that creativity, the content if you've created, and go
Hmm.
push it on people to consume it,
It's not
then
going nowhere. Yeah.
it's not going nowhere. You know what I mean? OGs don't get hurt.
Of
You
course.
understand what I'm saying? They don't leave their neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can push weight in an area and be comfortable. There's nothing wrong with that. But the moment you feel like, hey, I deserve more, I can get a lot more out of my, talent, and all bets are off because you expect somebody else to come in and do more for you than you can do for yourself.
Of course.
You understand what I'm saying? But I still think that, back to your question, though, I still think that, you know, we
It makes
absolutely got to
sense
say
to do it.
it absolutely makes sense. It makes sense. And the more that comes, the more that deals that get signed, the better, the better,
Hmm.
because we're going to learn. Even if you have the best deal, doesn't mean you're going to be the most successful. You can have
Yeah.
the worst shitty deal and still be the most successful, right? Everybody's, you're not defined by a deal. You understand what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
You're not defined by a deal.
It's not the
So,
end of
so
everything. So
no, not at
yeah.
all.
So what about what are some of your like earliest days, craziest moments? at the NEAs. I felt like so like
Oh man,
dealing with
memories,
artists,
bro.
hotel
Memories.
logistics. I mean,
Man, don't throw me back into trauma, bro. Now, like I think, I'm a firm believer that whatever you do that doesn't break you only make you stronger. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, a few of us in our group were rebels, right? We're just rebels. We didn't really care. I mean, there was a few other that actually are a little bit sensitive, a lot more sensitive.
bounce
But
quick.
I'll speak
Yeah,
for myself. I was a rebel.
yeah.
For me, I was cutthroat, and that's why I never really wanted to be really in dealing with talent.
Mm.
That isn't my my
You never
forte.
had the patience, man.
No, no, I never had the patience for stupidity. You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember I
Like,
used to be like, no, no, man, no, let me go talk to that because I knew if you go in that room, that artist is leaving. You're not gonna be
you
accepted.
understand? Like and like just like iLLBliss said not too long ago, it's about dollars and cents, it's about the balance sheets. You understand what I'm saying? Even if we had unlimited funds to put these projects up, doesn't mean we're, United Way of America. You understand what I'm saying? Like we still have to run a business. And
Yeah.
having attended other similar, probably more prestigious award show, I
Yeah.
tend to understand that we have to set precedents. Either that being in Nigeria or in South Africa or in the UK, we had to set precedent. There was no one giving us an opportunity in America at that time, and the fact
Yeah.
that the NEAs was vested in doing that. I believe just like we talk now, we do it for the culture, we do it for the culture. Then we weren't doing it for the culture then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Only a few understood the movement.
Of
You
course.
know that almost every artist that was the name came across the screen at that show put in a little bit more than they thought they would get out of it.
It's true.
Bro,
It's true.
we'll be talking something different today.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because
True.
there's no show without the talent. It's still show business, right? But at the end of the day, we needed the artists to be able to come and bring in a lot more that they were going to get out of it. But the competitiveness, the challenge, I deserve this award over the other guy.
Yeah.
My music is bigger than this guy. I'm the
Yeah.
one that's supposed to win this. All of those little things, right? What really turns me off
The
sometimes. It's like,
politics.
and the lobbying is good, right? The
Yeah.
lobbying is part of the business, but I think that again, the artist can, or at least, and maybe it wasn't their call to understand the vision, right? Because I feel like if they would have poured in, just like when you go to the Academy Awards or you go to, like, all those talents
Yeah.
actually are members of that body, and they hold that body, their loyalty. You
Yeah.
don't see how
It's
many
all
artists
over.
do you see
They have
come
a
around.
stake also. Like,
Exactly.
part of them.
You know,
Yeah.
so how many artists do you hear to the bash the Grammy, and the ones that ever did never came back ever? You know what I'm saying? Like, who goes and say, "Oh, I should deserve to win that BET Awards"? Like, really? Yeah, your fans can say that, but you as an artist never had the audacity
Mm-hmm.
to ever say such a thing because you understood that that platform was going to give you a lot more than you could have given that platform.
Yeah.
Your presence alone wasn't going to make that platform bigger. It was only going to help that platform do better so that they can do better for you
Of
and your
course. That's a combined
you know
experience together.
and that's what the movement, that's
Yeah.
what we say for the movement, for the culture. That's why we stress those terminologies now, because artists got to understand it's going to go beyond your lifetime. What's going to really matter is what
Of
did
course.
you do while you had those opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, you tell us about the Afrobeat Music Conference. You said that
Man, that conference, man, that was one thing, and to me, that conference was born out of frustration, right? It was born out of frustration, to be real with you. Um, and that frustration is some of the things that I just alluded to right now, that the NEA platform was not able to um, accomplish for several reasons. And I felt that, you know what, that this is something that we're missing, right? The education of the talent that we're pushing out in the West. You know, that the reason to actually have an educated discussion about what's your own place besides dropping music and having us, you know, jump up and down and shake our head. What is, you know, if you're having catalogs of songs and you intend this catalog of songs to eventually make you royalty and get publishing rights, what do you think is your contribution to do that? You know, you just can't make music and be a star and make, you know, revenue and walk away from the table. You know, what is your contribution? So the Afrobeat Music Conference was supposed to address some of those points, and the plan for that actually, you know, God bled COVID-19. The plan for that was really waiting for the right time. I think that, you know, the right, and the time is now, right? Because we have enough use cases, right? We have enough use cases. We have enough, you know, Bonner's achievement this year and his trajectory into the academy was important. You know, it gave us another talking point to say, okay, what did this young man do differently? You know, why isn't a Wheezy ahead of the curve? Or was he ahead of it? Was it things within his contract, or is it things within his creative process, or was it XYZ that, or was it just not an interest of his? Was his music not in the right hands of the right people to get him there? You know, Davido, it's one artist that I think doesn't get enough respect, but dude has been on the most celebrated platforms out in the West. You know, no one has climbed the Hot 97 stage as an artist. How many festivals as Davido did compared to many other artists? But it doesn't get talked about enough because he has to sing his own glory, right? Daddy Billion Gang got to go out there and tweet about it and IG about it for people to hear it. There's no media.
How important do you think the management is when it comes to that conversation? Because, for example, you talked about Weez, right? And that's always been my biggest problem with Weez. I feel like the management can do better. You know what I mean? I feel like he's been able to get management right when it comes to Europe, you know, specifically UK. You know, but I feel like
I don't know. It's complicated, right? It's complicated because it's a balance between trying to be your own boss, and with all due respect, those guys do enough of that stuff, you know, running their own business, you know. But as a small business, no matter how much you're bringing in and movement that you're pushing, there's still a big brother, right?
Yeah.
That big brother is either, you know, is not on the same you know line with you, and is why you're having that challenge. So for me is, you know, I don't want to make a case about Wheezy basically because I don't know enough of his business, but I would just say that it's important for us to understand that if something isn't happening, it's more than one reason that it's not happening, right? Wiz is too much of a talented artist for his name not to be enshrined in the Academy Awards.
Call him Lion, man. I think
you understand what I'm saying?
A lot of us expect a lot more than what we're saying from him.
Exactly.
That's part of the frustration. Like, yo,
right, that's part of the frustration, right? You know, the common fans can argue about this all day, you know, but from me, from what I sit at the table that I sit, I get frustrated when I feel like, you know, is either shoot himself on the foot or he's not, you know. And again, I don't want to be critical of the dude because I love him to death, but I just don't know, and maybe it's not my place to know, but I just know something that is not right is that, you know, his name is not enshrined in the Academy Awards, and you have to be on Drake's. I take that back. He's on Drake's, you know, One Dance.
One
you know,
Dance.
but but that's not enough.
Biggest record,
That's not
huge
enough.
record. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. So, so obviously, well, I'm looking forward to that in terms of when COVID is over and you're doing stuff with it. I think again that's another platform that is like it's more than needed. The educational aspects of this business.
Right. And for me too, it's been a little bit rough because I know what I don't want it to become. Right. I know what I don't want it to become. That I've had a lot of discussion in higher places to make it be a part of an industry event, right? We can do it with South by Southwest, or we can do it with the Grammys. We can do it with, what's the other one that happens in New York? One of the conferences, I can't remember the name right now, but all the choices are there, right?
Okay.
All the choices are there, but I was hoping, like I said, that we have enough people that can hold other major decision makers accountable for our success, right? Because we're pushing numbers. By all means, our numbers are strong. The numbers that our artists are pushing on all platforms, that streaming platforms as well as social media platforms, is strong. It's stronger than you get out of Latin America, or stronger than what you get out of the Caribbean. Maybe, never as strong as the United States anyway, because that's still where where the lion is. But it's strong. Yeah, but it's strong enough for us to be able to have a seat at the table. And the interest is there. But when you got to do something too fast, sometimes you might crash. So I've just been taking my time and just waiting for that right move.
Mm-hmm. So like question I've been having more recently also is that, do you think is really possible for us to have an Afrobeat artist from the US, based in the US, being successful, respected in that music space out here and at home?
I think so. I think so. I think it's hard. Because again, even in the West, right? There's no label structure as much as there were back in the mid 90s and late 90s. There's heavily more on distribution nowadays. I'll take back, shout out to T-Bliss. I take back to when those guys were grinding with sauce and were grinding. If they had distribution then, that would be the answer to your question. Because they were grinding just as much as Lil Wayne and the boys in New Orleans was grinding back then. But those guys were focused on getting distribution deals out in the United States, while T-Bliss and them focus was going back and having an impact in Africa, which they accomplished that. You understand? They did accomplish that. But what left was the gap of who was going to grind like the Sauce Kid was grinding, that can go bar for bar with any American artist back then. But what you would end up seeing, to answer your question, it would be an artist that is of African descent or of Nigerian descent, that is celebrated both here and at home, and there've been a few of those. I mean, the legendary Daddy Adu is there, so she's still living. It's been done, so I did it, so it's gonna be done again.
Yeah, hopefully, man. I think because that's always been like the biggest question with a lot of the upcoming artists. Oh yeah, we need to do more for them, or there's no support, and some of them end up spending so much money, sending money to Nigeria to get their music played to the OAPs on these platforms, and it's just
crazy. I mean, there's no easy way out, bro. I don't know what to tell you. There's no easy way out, but even the ones in Nigeria still grinding. So if you're here and music is what you want to do, you have to. It's not going to be, for me, I think it's not amount of You know, let's just take the success. IOJ again is another most recent example of that. You can have a hit record here and play it at home as well, but as how do you come back? How do you balance it? Who's pushing your music and things like that? I mean, success is defined in so many several ways that we get carried away by the glitters. And I understand that if you're cashing in every quarter, every month on your grind, then you're successful. But do you want to get called for shows in Nigeria as often as if Ibo in Nigeria or Wandiko in Nigeria is getting called for shows? It's impossible. They know you don't live there. The cost of doing business with you is totally different. But can you be known?
But we're
and
doing that. We're doing that here, though, right? Because I feel like if an artist
no,
go over
no,
here, we're bringing artists
I don't
from Nigeria all the time now, from Ghana, from everywhere to the US. It's a lot more costly.
do.
If
No, well,
IOJ
I
lives
think
right here, and he has a big
no, no.
songs.
But the thing is, the artists that come over here, I don't like to say we bring them because artists wants to tour. Artists wants to tour, and in Nigeria,
Yes.
there's easier for them to have tours and shows in Nigeria. Um,
This one.
hey, mama, don't worry, they're all over the place. It's like this COVID, I'm tired.
I know this one.
You know, it's at that time. You said you've been on the call for like how many calls
I
now?
know, right? No, but
So
hey, this is
it's back to back. But no, we
Go
bring
to
artists, right?
Yeah.
Because we can't relate. It goes back to that initial reason we started this movement is to be able to give our artists a platform out here to perform. Every promoter, you know, regionally, and there've been a lot new ones now that I don't even know, but
Of course.
I can name some older ones that have been doing shows, whatnot. You know, if it's not about putting production together to make money. It's about putting in for the culture. We bring artists now and say, okay, we want to come do 10. Where are they really performing at, to be honest? You know, they're performing at clubs and they're performing at venues that, to be honest, is not befitting of their stardom, right?
Yeah.
But the bit that we can contribute to that movement is all we got. Because if you tell them
That's
to
the
do
platform.
a show,
Yeah, that's
that's the
available.
platform. If we tell them to do a show at a lesser price in order for you to get a Madison Square Garden, which you know
Your
both of
peoples
you
are
are
here
going to
now.
do. Oh yeah,
Julius.
my shout out to Juliet Ibrahim. That's the queen of Nollywood right there. You know, but yeah, it's you know, it's catch 22, man. You know, we have to bring them out here, you know, and give them at least wherever that is, even if that's my living room where they can perform, as long as their fans can get to see them, you know, do what they do best in their element. You know, that's all good. I don't, you know, yeah. I mean, the Afrobeats here. The thing is that we need to get a little stronger, and the artist here needs to also have a union, so to speak, to where they get a chair at the table. When we bring artists, we bring an Olamide to perform. Olamide should not have, and that's my boy. He's gonna kill me for this. Olamide should not have total 100% autonomy deciding who's on the lineup. You know, the producer should, you know, producer of the show should say, hey, Olamide, this artist are opening for you. You understand what I'm saying? Which they do some of that a little bit now
Yes.
anyway. It's not really a discussion, but Olamide should be able to bless that, you know. Or let me start saying Olamide. God, let me just say the artist, right? The artist should be able to bless that, you know, because you have to know that you're contributing back to the culture, right? Because that producer and that artist here is going to take your music to where you don't even know exist.
Let me ask you this. You talked about venues, which is very important. People come here, where are they performing? Like, even You know, with movies, same thing. Like people come, they shoot, like they want to do movie premieres. Where are you doing it? Under which platform, right? What about
Right.
companies such as like Live Nation that are coming in heavy into the market right now, into this space? You know, you
Are they
think,
coming in heavy?
I think they're taking over.
Let's talk about that. Like, are they coming in heavy? I
No, well,
mean,
I feel like in terms of what a lot of the promoters have been doing here, I feel like Live Nation is going to turn all the major African-based US promoters into more like sub promoters that are working for them.
and you know me, I don't like to hold back. Sometimes I said
Yeah.
people's name before and realize I'm just putting them on the table. I mean, let's take my boy Duke for
Yeah.
example. You know, you have promoters like Duke that may see a reason to work with Live Nation, just like you've had a reason to work with Live Nation in the past,
Yes.
and we and you and Big Moose have worked with Live Nation in the past,
Yes.
and we've always understood one thing: Live Nation is a brand we want to work with,
Yeah.
but the deals they give us is not the deals we want to do.
I call it devil's deal.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, David had a Live Nation package, wasn't successful for obvious reason. If when P Square was at the peak of their game and Big A had that tour and Big A put them on Live Nation, which something we'll be talking today, bro. Like opportunities of time.
Yeah.
You
But
understand what I'm
why
saying?
is that though? I understand that, but what I'm trying to get to is why is that? Why couldn't it have been, you know, Firematic Entertainment with that?
Where my papa did now, bros.
You know,
No.
that's what I'm
But
talking
the
about.
thing,
Do we
even
need to start thinking about owning these infrastructures, putting them in place?
we should, and we're doing better in the South than you guys in the Northeast because you guys have Italian mafias and all those people in all those buildings. It's different, you know, but it's generation. I think we'll get there, hopefully in our lifetime, right? But I mean, it's not even like we can't get. No, we've been around
But
long enough that
you're not
you can
against it.
get
You're
them.
just saying that they have a
No,
better
I'm
platform.
not. Yeah, I'm not against it. I just think that um, we we're not united enough. First of all, right? If a Duke bring his numbers to the table, a Big Moose bring his numbers to the table, a Big A bring his numbers to the table, a UDR bring their numbers to the table. You go to the Midwest, you call DJ Money and his boys. You go down to TY Works, even as much as he doesn't do a lot of Nigerian events, still bring him to the table. We look at these numbers and say, in a 10 city tour, you go to Lentini in LA and say, bring yours to the table. We can pull 500,000 attendees in the entire United States. Maybe we should start with a festival first rather than do all the segmented regional events. Or let's go back to what NRC used to do back in the days, was pure pre-festival branding, which was pure festival because they could have done those concerts outdoor, but it was just, you know, hindsight is 2020 that they didn't do those concerts as an outdoor concert. They decided to do it indoors. But if they, you know, again, the numbers are there. The unity is not.
So you think,
right?
All right, like, so unity numbers, you think is more important to have the unity than the number? Because I'm like, even if we're united, I feel like the investing aspect of it is still like a bigger deal. Where's the money going to come from? Because if I'm doing a show, right, individually, maybe I'm spending like 60,000, 70,000, right? Lentini, from here to California, right? I don't know how many promoters I can call and say, you know what, let's do this big show. I need 150K, $200,000 each. So we have $1 million eventually to make this show happen. Because there's some promoters that come attack me and say, well, you're the only one working with One Africa. Why is it only you? You know, we could have done this. And I'm like, well, do you have 250K to bring to the table? Are you going to put up your house? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, and a lot of people have gone broke trying to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
But
you know?
what I'm saying is that there's different models. The One Africa model is definitely one on his own lane, because he's coming in with elephant money, right? But for much more strategic placement within this market is that we don't take that number. So what I was trying to get at is we bring that numbers together. We can go to McDonald's. McDonald's can sponsor the 5-city tour because they have location and businesses in all those 5 locations, right? A promoter can sit back and just collect their gate fee. They ain't gonna spend their money because McDonald's got the budget to do that. But if we don't come together, right, and present these numbers to McDonald's and say, hey, we need $2 million from you. We've got 5-7 cities with strategic partnership with all the cities. Get the numbers, and here's your return on your investment. They're also going to continue to fight and compete among each other. That's what I keep saying is like the numbers are there. Unity is lacking because no one as a single entity can get that elephant money.
Absolutely.
Unless you have Polo coming with it, you know. Other than that, you know, you can't hate on Polo. I mean, he's on the left, and he should continue to do what he's doing. That doesn't take anything away from us here being able to take the advantage that we have is what we're not seeing. You're right. The advantage that we have is because I can tell you, once somebody's 2 cousin, 3 cousin is sitting at the desk approving deals on behalf of the other cultures. Because we have nothing to put forth to that dude, to that gentleman to approve deals on our behalf. You know, you know people that I know people and somebody else know people. We bring all this together. We move. You know what I'm saying? We push that way, we move. And we're going to accomplish things way faster and deeper than we're trying to do right now. You understand what I'm saying? You take a Burna Boy tour. Why would anybody do a Burna Boy tour without it fully branded with what Burna Boy is commanding in the market right now? Like, I wouldn't even touch it. You understand what I'm saying? If the liquor brands, the big brands in America is not dropping that Grammy nominated artists, bro, like,
it's a different ballgame.
But again, no shade at Burna. You're ready to pay him his cash and walk and performs as an artist. It doesn't have to do with your business. But you as a promoter that don't have any creative process to actually get that money from corporate America, it's your fault. It's not the artist's fault.
All right, cool. So you keep talking Burna. Like, who's the biggest? Is it him for you? Who's the biggest right now in Africa? And even global. Is it Burna? Is it David? I feel like Weez, I don't know. Is it still there, top 3? Like,
now, in terms of what though?
In terms of value, in terms of streaming, in terms of how much they command for shows, in terms of demand.
Right now, it's between Burna and Weez. I mean, I think
Burna and Weez.
Yeah, David is lagging behind both of them. Just because, I mean, if you look at go back to the most recent projects, right? It's not even lifetime numbers, most recent projects, and see what kind of success each person's. Now, I think placement-wise, I think David is ahead, both of them. And I don't want to say ahead Burna, because Burna's movement last year was just too heavy. Right. But I think Weez didn't get the movement. I don't know, for whatever reason. He didn't move. He didn't get places. He didn't touch continent. It was really at the bare minimum. Him doing bare minimum still makes him top 2. You understand?
Yeah.
Burna worked. It's behind
up.
Man, Burna worked. You understand? And got to the top because it worked. David was at the top and it was just hanging on, right? It was hanging on because there's not enough at the top. You can talk about second tier guys like, you know, Techno and maybe Runtown or Kiss Daniel, those ones that can at any time blow ahead. And those are the people that David needs to be worried about because they can at any time take over the David spot. You know, Burna's hot right now. He's not going to be hot forever. You know, everybody's got their time to shine. So is Wiz. I mean, Wiz has been hot forever, and he's doing his own thing. He's does it their way. You know, he just have his what do you call it? His name in the history book for life. He doesn't
Of
maybe
course.
not need to.
What about the
Baseball.
newer guys, the younger boys behind them? Who's your top two?
Those young guys. I mean, it's Fireboy and Rema right now. I think Joe Boy is probably right behind them. I think those guys are very lucky. I tell you, they came at a time in which it was easier to push their music. You understand what I'm saying? They don't like a lot of people know their music, they don't even know their face. Remember when we used to say that back